You know, you come from being a youth, having jollies everywhere, doing this and that, and then your life just changes. Everybody was taught how to kill. I was like every other 20-year-old. I liked my pint, smoked like a trooper, used to go out with the lads, go to parties and stuff like that. I played darts in a pub and played football locally. I wasn't a ladies' man, but I liked the ladies, yes. I was very buoyant. I was a happy-go-lucky sort of guy. We arrived in the late afternoon, all jolly in our civilian clothes, and we got off the coach and walked through these huge iron imposing gates. And believe me, that was the last time of freedom that we had. As we got through the gates, there was sergeants and corporals and guys dressed in uniform, and we all stand at attention. They came along and stared at us in the face. The next thing was to get rid of our civilian clothes. We went into the barracks and took all our clothes off, except for our underwear. They just threw these battle dresses at us. And then the next rather disgusting part, in my opinion, was how to kill someone. And they had rigged up a straw bag on a frame, and you had to stand about 10 or 15 feet away from it. The sergeant would scream out, "Charge," and you would charge towards this object and stick a bayonet in it, and twist it and pull it out. That's how it was supposed to be done with a live enemy. A lot of the guys actually passed out after they'd done that, because I would have thought the memory of trying to kill somebody like that was terrible. And the thoughts of sticking that into a body and pulling it out, you know. The reason you had to twist it to pull it out so it didn't get mixed up with the bones. I know it's pretty tough to say that, but that's what the idea was. We were walking into something where you had to do what you was told, and if you didn't do it, then you suffered the consequences. I got into trouble the first night that I was in barracks. We were allowed out, and I went to this dance and I met a nurse from the local hospital, you know. And the orders were, when the sirens went, you had to return to barracks, didn't you? So we was enjoying ourselves, let's put it this way. And the sirens went, and I said, "Oh, I'm not going, no," you know. And when I got back, I was dragged in and put on a charger. My punishment was full battle order every night, and I had to do about 20 laps around the parade ground, you know. And it taught me a bit of a lesson, really. Gradually, we started to do our training outside, marching, all forming up and marching. And you'd come back with big blisters on your feet. They were just told to wrap them up, and that was it. You was back on duty, really. You never got any time off with them. The toughest thing was having to do what you was told. That was the toughest thing. You know, you felt it boiling up inside of you, and you knew you couldn't release it, otherwise you'd be in trouble. You'd be standing there with lovely, beautiful, polished boots, and the sergeant or corporal, whoever it was, who would be inspecting you, would come along, and accidentally he would put his foot on there, and then he'd take it off, and he'd look down and say, "Sheppard, you haven't cleaned your boots this morning. You couldn't go home to mum. You just had to, put up with what you'd done." I was sitting in our barrack room on my own one day, and this old sergeant came in. He'd been in World War One. He was a nice sort of guy, and he came up to me and sat on the bed. He said, "I've been watching you, Sheppard." He said, "You've got potential." He said, "But I'll give you a little tip. You'll never beat us, whatever you do. If you just behave yourself, keep out of our hair, we don't know you're here," which I think was very good advice, really. When you go through those gates, you go in as a boy or a young man and you come out a man. And I don't know what the definition of a man is, but I did respect life a bit more better. You learn to rely on your own initiative, your own self. It changed me considerably. Whereas Jack the Lad, I didn't become so much of a Jack the Lad. I felt a better sort of guy than I was before I went in.